At last, it seems like the Elbaf arc is finally kicking off, but with a different Straw Hat focus than we anticipated. On top of that, Shanks puts an end to yet another rookie's journey, and Blackbeard has plenty of cards up his sleeve. What is this guy planning? We're going to dive into all of this in today's video, right after the intro. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're breaking down this incredible chapter, number 1126, and wow, what a hype chapter. But before we get into it, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any updates. Alright, let's jump in. The cover story kicks off with more kidnappings. While enjoying some soba, Yamato overhears talk of more missing people and girls. What's going on? Who could be behind these kidnappings? Now, in the main chapter, we see the Straw Hats and the Giants throwing an enormous party, quite the change from the last time we saw them. Luffy was down, feeling like he hadn't fulfilled his promise to Vegapunk, but after Lilith assured him that he did, the party's in full swing. Giants Oimo and Kashi mentioned that they went searching for their bosses, and when they arrived at Little Garden, Dory and Bragi were in a fistfight because their weapons had broken. Their weapons were already damaged back in that arc, so Oimo and Kashi convinced them to head to Elbaf for new ones so they could continue their duel. And yes, they're serious about that. The fight will only end when one of them dies, much to Nami's shock. A touching moment happens when Bonnie, sitting on Kuma's lap, looks out at the horizon with him. Kuma even manages a smile. Yes, he's alive. There's still some part of his soul left. While Kuma's death might have been more emotional, I have to admit, seeing the two of them together like this, fulfilling their promise to gaze at the horizon, was really heartwarming. But what does the future hold for them now? With Kuma still alive, it seems unlikely that Bonnie will join the Straw Hats as a crew member. We'll have to see what Oda has in store for them. Next, the scene shifts to Gartel Island. What is this place? It's where Bartolomeo was seen burning Shanks' Jolly Roger, and Shanks had said he couldn't let that slide. Remember when he mentioned this back in Wano? I thought it was just Shanks bluffing to avoid meeting Luffy, but it turns out he was serious. While we don't see the fight itself, Bartolomeo is shown beaten and kneeling in front of Shanks' crew, apologizing for what he did. He's bruised and battered from the beating he took. Shanks explains that he can't let this sort of thing slide. He has many territories and allies under his protection, and showing weakness could put them in danger. Bartolomeo apologizes, and a crew member hands him a vial of poison, telling him to give it to Luffy in 1 month. The poison causes bleeding, skin eruptions, and eventually death. But before anyone can react, Bartolomeo drinks the poison himself, telling his crew that he doesn't want to burden Luffy with his mistakes. He wants this incident to be known as a rebellious act by troublemakers who challenged a Yonko. This act of loyalty toward Luffy impresses Shanks, knowing that Luffy has gained such devoted followers. He even lets them escape, revealing the poison was a bluff. However, Yasopp isn't as forgiving. He says they need to learn a lesson. Yasopp fires at the Barto Club and blows them up. We don't know their fate or if there are any survivors. It's possible Bartolomeo has joined forces with Kid wherever those two end up. The question is, did Yasopp act on his own, or did Shanks order him to do it? The age-old question, is Shanks a villain? In my opinion, he's just a pirate, playing by the rule of thumb. Kind to friends, ruthless to enemies. As for Blackbeard, now back at Hachinosu, it's clear he's got a lot of pieces in play. He understands exactly what Vegapunk's message means. It's no longer just the Yonko chasing after the poneglyphs and the One Piece. The Navy will now join the race, as the poneglyphs are public knowledge. Sure, Teach is upset about losing Kobe, but having Garp, who is still alive, is even better. He congratulates Kuzan for a job well done. I'll make a separate video about Kuzan's words, but for now, it seems an old power scaling question has been answered. Blackbeard now has a Vice Admiral, Pudding, who can read the poneglyphs, and Devon, who arrives with a terrified Caribou, who will give him the location of 2 of the 3 ancient weapons. Plus, Devon can now transform into Gorosei Saturn. At the end of the chapter, we find out where Lafitte has been, spying on the Revolutionary Army. Ever since Dressrosa, it seems Teach has had a special interest in the revolutionaries. Lafitte is on a special mission there instead, but what could it be? Finally, 2 days after escaping Egghead, we learn that the Sunny is missing, along with Luffy, Sanji, Usopp, Zoro, Chopper, and Nami. Speaking of Nami, we only see her at the end of the chapter. She wakes up in a strange room wearing Viking clothes with someone calling her name. The room looks like it's made of Lego. Could it be that Prince Loki kidnapped her? Remember, it was Nami who overheard Lola's story about this marriage back in Thriller Bark. Could Loki's power be the Lego fruit? Oda might have been foreshadowing this all along with that cover showing the Straw Hats playing with Lego blocks. And hey, if this theory pans out, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Lego Straw Hat line released. Oda is a marketing genius. Is it time for Usopp fans to worry? We always thought Elbaf would be his arc, and it still could be, but there's a chance this might turn into Nami's arc instead. Remember, Oda once said that if Nami had a nationality, she'd be Swedish, meaning Scandinavian. The Vikings, who inspired the Giants, are from Scandinavia, and Lego is a Danish toy. You could argue that Elbaf is a Scandinavian country. What I'm getting at is that there's a strong possibility this arc could reveal more about Nami's origins. Elbaf has officially begun, and it's already so different from what we expected. As for the Straw Hats who've been separated, this is a classic Oda move for the start of an arc. What's peculiar here is that the Straw Hats who are missing are the same ones who were in Little Garden the first time we met the Giants, and also the same group that said goodbye to Vivi at the end of Alabasta with the X on their arms. And by the way, Vivi was also in Little Garden. So I think this could be the perfect moment for Vivi to make her return, don't you? I've got a video breaking down this theory in more detail. That's all for now. There's so much more to discuss about this chapter, but to keep things short, I'll bring my theories to you in upcoming videos. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. Until next time, thanks for watching.